Hello, Aswathi.
Hey,
I'm Rashmi from GC Palakkad.
hey Rashmi.
Hi, Aswathi. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good too. So, for those who are listening on, I'm Rashmi and I'm gonna interview Aswathi, who is Associate Consultant at Microsoft, and she is also alumni of GC Palakkad. So, Aswathi, can we get going?
Sorry? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, can you just say a bit more about yourself, like what you are, who you are, and the journey so far, in short?
Okay, fine. So right now I'm working as an associate consultant at Microsoft
Okay.
in Hyderabad.
Mm.
I'm a 2018 graduate from
Okay.
GC Shishwaram,
Yeah.
computer science student, obviously. And about myself, yeah, I've been to the tech, the computer field for probably as long as I can remember.
Uh-huh.
So I was always interested in computers, so I guess that's what got me here.
Uh-huh.
And I'm I'm good. I'm really interested in programming,
Uh-huh.
etc. Yeah, I guess that's
Okay.
about it.
Okay, great. So how did you get the job at Microsoft? How did you know about it?
Ah, good question actually.
Uh-huh.
So uh, to start off, I got the opportunity to apply at Microsoft
Mm.
through the JCI career fair.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't a scholar,
Mm-hmm.
so what happened was we had a have you heard of Thinker Hub?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so there was a Thinker Hub meetup in
Okay.
Kochi,
Uh-huh.
and I guess that's when I first met Arya Murli in person.
Yeah.
And so in yeah, so in that session, uh, she was talking about opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
and that is when I actually first knew about GSA.
Okay.
So by the time like this was pretty much in October or November, I'm not sure when,
Mm-hmm.
October something.
Okay.
So like the GSTI, the whole application process was already closed.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, but there is also career fair that you can apply to.
Yeah.
This does not require any,
Application.
pre-application,
Yeah.
etc. Yeah, you don't have to be a scholar to do it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, why not just give it a shot?
Mm-hmm.
And I gave it a shot,
Uh-huh.
which is, yeah, and so I applied, and then I got an interview offer,
Okay.
and then the standard interview process, and there was an online examination.
Huh.
There was also, and then they called me for an interview to Bangalore.
Okay.
I also had an interview, and they gave me the offer the same day.
Uh-huh. That's great.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
how did you prepare for it?
Mm, okay, so how did I prepare for it?
Mm.
I guess a lot of preparation happens uh, from the when you start your college itself. So
Oh, yeah.
I kind of really like two types of preparation. One is basically your book knowledge.
Mm.
You cannot not have a good foundation in your subject. You can be a really good programmer and stuff, but you need to have very good foundation in your subject. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think that, yeah. So and luckily I've had very good teachers.
Luckily.
No, yeah, not a branding for my college, but yes, we've had pretty good teachers. So I've had solid
Foundation.
base, yeah, on my subject.
Yeah.
So that was one of my main preparations. That preparation was actually kind of going through all the time. So now I was in my fourth year,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously we were always like, going through a lot of what do you say, interview questions and preparing ourselves for
Mm-hmm.
other interviews,
Yeah.
etc. So that was always constant.
Mm.
That was one. And then I guess I specifically looked up on Microsoft preparations, and I read
Okay.
up on it,
Oh.
And there's the other thing where you should also look up the company that you're going to, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I looked up on them and their questions and those interviews and things like that.
Huh.
So yeah, so
So you did quite a lot of preparation, right? Going up and down,
yes,
looking up.
actually,
Yeah.
it was a pretty overwhelming opportunity, and I didn't want to,
Yeah.
lose it because I wasn't prepared. So I
Yeah.
kind of prepared pretty much.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, what is it that you think made your application or your resume or your interview stand out?
So okay, so I will share what from the interview, the feedback that they gave.
Uh-huh.
What they said was, and I'm coming back to the same point, but what they said was out of the 10 people, only 3 of them passed the first round,
Oh.
and that was because they did not, like, the 3 people who passed were only because they had a good grab of or knowledge of the subject,
Okay.
the core CS subject,
Mm-hmm.
and so I guess that's one thing that helped me out.
Mm-hmm.
And two, my I'm not, you know, what do you say, telling myself, but I think my resume was okay, it was pretty decent. Like,
Uh-huh.
I did not, overload it with a lot of things, and I
Uh-huh.
did do, I did spend a couple of years, building my resume
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. So I guess those two factors are,
Okay. So you need to be good in academics, right? You have to focus in that too.
yes, very
Mm-hmm.
much.
Okay.
Because yeah, because what I've seen is like from my class itself, I
Mm-hmm.
had crazy good programmers in my class,
Mm-hmm.
but they couldn't make it through interviews just because they didn't have the right CGPA.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you can't give up on academics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's your typical day at work like at Microsoft?
It is super chill, let me tell you.
Uh-huh.
It's super chill. I mean, you can just wake up whenever you want, and you can go in whenever you want.
Uh-huh.
So people only start filling up the office at 10 o'clock or something, 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
There's no strict guidelines, it's completely chill.
Uh,
So I go in early because I like going in early,
yeah, that's good.
and it's close by. So we walk and go,
Uh-huh.
and campus is amazing. I mean, being in such a big campus, it's just beautiful. The campus is amazing. You have so much different things in campus. You don't get bored there.
Uh,
I mean, we stay till 9:30, and
oh.
we don't get bored there. I mean, it's really good. There's a lot of food, there's a lot of coffee, there's a lot of games on campus. Like every store has a lot of games, and
Oh, that's
that's
great.
that part of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so that's the fun part of it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to work,
Uh-huh.
it's it's really amazing because everyone there is so helpful,
Mm-hmm.
and you can approach anyone with anything you want. It is a really open atmosphere, so you can say whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to pursue something, you can definitely go for it. You have all the kinds of resources,
Oh.
and and the work is also really good. I mean, because it's Microsoft, you have a lot of good quality work that comes in. You have a lot of quality projects coming in,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a learning experience like also. Yeah.
So it's great going there, right?
So, yes, definitely.
Okay,
Yes.
so what are the skills required to do well in your role?
Okay, in my role, you need to have a really good foundation on your. So my role specifically, let me just give me a thing, context.
No.
Like right now, we're basically doing solutions for customers.
Okay.
So what I like in my role, what I would need is I need good .NET and web development,
Mm-hmm.
and that's ASP, .NET,
Mm-hmm.
and C Sharp, AngularJS, CSS, HTML, JavaScript, all that,
Okay.
all of the web. And then there's SharePoint Online. I don't think, have you heard of it?
No.
Yeah, so even I'm a little bit of it, so that's another area that we're focused on.
Uh-huh.
Um, then there's Skype and etc. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of specific things.
Okay.
So like if it was from my call, like from when I was in college, I would probably look into getting a good grip on web application, web development.
Oh.
That did help.
Yeah, that paid off.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So, what is it that you like about Microsoft? One special thing?
One special thing.
Mm.
This is like a lot, but one
Come.
thing that I really like is it's a really open atmosphere.
Hmm.
So you can go to anyone and ask anything, and no one will ever say no.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
That's good.
no one will ever say they cannot help you, and they'll actually lead you to the person who can help you.
Uh-huh.
You'll end up getting help.
Oh, that's good.
So I think that yeah, it's not just about help. It's also if you want something done, or it's the resources that you have, or problems you have, anything,
Uh-huh.
anything.
That's
So
great.
I guess that's something that something
Yeah.
that's very nice.
Okay, so I don't know whether you covered up this or not, but do you face any challenges while working, and how do you overcome that?
Yes, I mean, it's very different from when you're in college, right?
Uh,
So when you're in the work environment, you're working as a team and
mm,
you're accountable in the sense you're actually doing something
mm,
that is going to be, is going to actually be live and the people are going to use what you're making,
yeah.
what you're doing. So I guess challenges are you have to be accurate and you have to be perfect in what you do. Now, perfect,
Mm,
at least you have to close into perfectness. So
yeah.
a lot of minute things that you have to look. So it kind of changes the way you code and the way you write programs.
Mm-hmm.
That's one.
Mm,
And two, it's about working as a team.
mm,
Uh, so when there are large, so the team that I'm working in is a really big team,
mm,
and so there are a lot of people, and obviously with a lot of people, there are a lot of what do you say? There's a lot of differences and things like
opinions.
that. So yeah, a lot of opinions. So it's about how to work with that and
Uh-huh.
how to come off and how to raise your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
how handle scenarios, etc.
Teamwork.
Because that is teamwork. Teamwork
Uh-huh.
is something amazing you learn from the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have any message to give your younger self now?
Yes. uh, do not be lazy.
Uh-huh. I don't think
Okay.
you were lazy. You couldn't end up at
I don't.
Microsoft being lazy.
No, actually, professional lazy in the sense that okay, so I only got into doing things like this. I guess to the ending of my third year.
Uh-huh.
I was pretty much involved in my college itself. I used to work in my college and etc. But I
Mm-hmm.
never actually checked out for I didn't know about scholarships and programs and things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So my
Yeah.
younger self, I'd be like, go out, participate in everything. I think back when I was in college in my fourth year,
Mm-hmm.
this used to be my mantra to everyone. I used to tell all of you, right? Just
Go
go
out,
out,
yeah.
go for that, go for this. So I think that's one thing I would have told myself. And
Okay.
yeah, that's one. And two, learn as much technology as you can because no
Helpful.
technology that you learn in college is going to be too much.
Uh,
In the sense, they teach you C, and C is obsolete. I mean, no one uses it in the industry, right?
okay.
So yeah, I think that's what I would tell myself. Learn more and learn more code and do more projects. That's
Okay.
something I would tell. Yeah.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yep, you should definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are there any openings in your organization now for us?
Uh,
Opportunities, internships, anything?
um, so I believe GSCI is open again this year,
Yeah.
but I doubt. Uh, I'm not sure. Like I haven't seen myself in the sponsor list yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if they are there, opportunities will come through there.
Okay.
Other than that, uh, I'm not very sure.
Okay.
So it's a
That's
pretty
fine.
big organization. There's a lot of roles and a lot of things you can get into there.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not quite sure. But
Okay.
if there is, let me know.
We'll have to Google that, right?
I honestly yes. Google.
Okay.
So there are a lot. You can always look up on LinkedIn and JCI and look
Uh-huh.
out.
Okay. So you have been active in tech-related programs at college, right? Head of
Yeah.
force and tech fest and all. So why do you think girls need to come into the field of tech?
Um,
Mm.
okay. Why? I mean, there are so little girls who, come in or step up and do something. And
Mm.
in my class, I think there were only 3 girls out of 40 girls. Only 3 girls who knew how to code properly and who
Oh,
liked coding.
okay.
So I don't think that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
In the
exactly.
sense that uh, coding is not something for guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
nothing
right,
like
right,
that. I mean,
right.
you want to code, you can code. And having that kind of technical knowledge is just so empowering.
Yeah.
It's not about coding. I mean, it's about being so empowered. I mean, I am
Mm-hmm.
very passionate about computer science, and that's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that you can be a part of so many things. And the IT industry itself is such a happening thing right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, it's all you can hear anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think, especially because there are such few women in it, from where I come from at least. I haven't seen a lot of women in the field. It would be really amazing to have a lot of women on board.
Okay.
And there's another thing that I would share is something that I got from a women workshop that I attended.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically uh, things also require a women perspective to it. I mean, there are a lot of designs that like I'm just trying to keep this short, but so like there are a lot of advancements in technologies that okay, it would sometimes require a woman perspective to look at it.
Yeah.
You know, not all people take it in that sense. So I think that's also pretty much required. You need a whole equality to it.
Okay. You need all to participate, right? Not just one community.
Yes,
Okay.
sure, participate, and it's just a lack of knowledge, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I think people should come up forward and participate.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and feel like what if I'm not good at it, or what if
Yeah.
I can't do it?
That's
Just
there.
step up. It's about stepping up. You learn eventually.
Yeah.
If you want to learn, you will learn.
Yeah.
So it's about yeah, it's about getting out there,
Mm-hmm.
putting yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
So here's a question that my friend gave, okay? So
Okay,
she
okay,
asked, how do you think a girl from a non-technical or non-professional family background with no one to
okay.
guide find her way to exposure?
Um, okay. I think that's a pretty good question.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, mm, what would I say? I mean, I think in my college, that's what I would have seen most probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you could do is always, I mean, you have Google. I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to be a major resource.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
if you want to empower, start from there. Get
Mm-hmm.
along with people, find people who share the same interests as you do,
Mm-hmm.
and get with them. Start working. Start proving yourself in that field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you know, I like just clarify the question to me. Is it that you want support from your background or from your house or
See, the problem here is sometimes they'll be interested to go into the field of tech, but
yeah,
they won't be having any mentors or they won't be knowing how to go about it.
yeah,
So as you said, Google is a really good resource and
yeah,
networking
that
is
is,
also there. Okay,
yes.
so I think that'll do.
Networking, let me just re-emphasize, networking is absolutely necessary.
Yeah,
I mean, networking gets you places. I mean, you should always have a point of contact,
yeah.
to help you with something and
Mm-hmm.
guide you with something. So I think, actually, to be very honest, if it wasn't for Arya and if it wasn't for that Thinker Hub meet, I would not have known about
Yeah.
GSAI. I would have not applied for career fair. I would not be where I am today.
Oh.
Like hands down, I can say that. So networking is really important.
Yeah.
It's really good because you'll find there's, you'll think that, oh, I don't have anyone who shares the same passion that I do.
Mm-hmm.
But when you network, you find that there are a lot of people,
Yeah.
who share the same thing. So it's good.
And even if you're getting stuck, they'll be knowing a solution to figure it out, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
even if they don't know a solution, they'll know people to guide you to the solution.
Yeah.
You
That's
get
right.
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
So, just always keep connecting with people,
Mm-hmm.
go out, take part in a lot of events.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the best ways to network,
Mm-hmm.
conduct events and take part in events. That's,
Okay.
that's a really good way to get started.
Okay. So I was going to ask you this question, do you have any message for the juniors? But I think you already covered that, right? Participate in
Yeah, I guess I
different
did.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty redundant. But yeah, I mean, especially for our juniors, I mean, from our college, because we do not have the kind of exposure
Yeah, that's
that
right.
we've had. But okay, when I came in, there was zero exposure. There was barely any girls getting out and
Mm-hmm.
doing tech-related work.
Yeah.
But over the years, I've seen that change. So
Uh-huh.
it's not the way that I started from when I was a junior to when I became a senior. By the
Mm-hmm.
time I became a senior, I saw people like you and other
Uh-huh.
juniors, and I was so happy. But it needs more work. So
Uh-huh.
the thing is, so the thing that I've usually seen is girls are kind of, sometimes they're not interested.
Mm-hmm.
They think, why should we go for this?
Yeah.
It's not contributing. So I
Mm-hmm.
think after Katie, you came in and said, you're going to get credit for this, please go out and do it. That's when girls started getting out and doing things.
No, I think
So,
you said when you came to college, girls are not into tech much, but
Yes,
by the time you're getting out, they were into tech. So don't you
yes.
think you created kind of a positive impact in there?
No, okay, I would say that okay, I probably aided it somehow, but not because of me. I mean, I actually would say it's because of KTU.
Oh,
KTU, and actually the quality of students has changed. The quality of students who are coming in has changed.
yeah.
So it's not from when I first learning. First, when I came, it was just, like you want to take engineering, that's why I'm in engineering. But then eventually the students were coming in were like, I wanted CS, and that's why I'm a CS engineer.
Hmm.
So that's the change that I saw, and that's a really good change. So
Yeah.
what I want to say is, don't stop at that.
Hmm.
Go out, do things, learn, keep learning. Learn something every day, and do projects, do work, and get out there and find what
Uh-huh.
you're good at. So at the end of fourth year, you should have a really good resume.
Yeah.
In the sense, not for applying to companies, and just to have a really good, you know,
Skill set.
thing to present. And, yeah.
Okay, Ashwati, that was great advice. Thank you so much for joining in today. You have been kind
You're
of
welcome.
inspiration at college and you're still inspiring me. I once again
You're welcome.
congratulate you on your achievement at Microsoft.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
wish you all the best. Thank you.
You too. Thank you so much for this opportunity
You're
and
welcome.
do well. All the best.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.